Well, the theme tonight is if you are gonna buy one of these in the secondhand market, please get an extended warranty. We're gonna go through a couple Tundras here that have failed, and I just wanna show people this because it happens every day, every week. I just want people to understand that if this happens to you and you're out of warranty, it's not gonna be pretty. Let's jump into some stories. The first story here is Anthony Weber. I think this might be probably the worst one tonight, but this was 20 hours ago. Who else has had their Tundra blow? I've got two 2024s. One engine blew at 30,000 kilometers. He's up in Canada while he was on the highway. Almost ditched it when I lost all the power. The one pick is just some of the shavings that were left in the engine from the factory. Actually, it's just the bearings exploded. It's not shavings from the factory. We'll take a look at these picks. So here's a look at some of the exploded internals. Keep in mind, this is a 2024 1794 edition, so not covered under the recall. He's actually going to get a short block rebuild. So this guy actually he tried to get a full crate engine, and so he went back and talked to the mechanic, and he said the funny thing was the general manager called him in and banned him from the dealership. They weren't happy about him going and speaking to the mechanic. I'm guessing if they see these pictures on the internet, they're probably not going to be happy either. So yes, this is still going on, 2024s. Could you imagine if you bought a 2024 with, 20,000 miles on it or whatever, they pull the cab off, tear it down like this, rebuild your short block, and they're going to save some of the parts and flush them, and they're going to probably replace turbos and some other things, but you're not getting a crate engine in a lot of these scenarios still. So keep that in mind on the secondhand market. Here's another 2024 in that same thread from Keith Sparks. My 2024 blew last month as well. He's getting a short block rebuild, not the crate engine. It doesn't make sense. And of course, Anthony agrees with him. What's weird to me is why doesn't Toyota just replace them with crate motors? You would think, or crate engines, you would think that would be the preferred way to go. It's actually less tech time, and you'd think Toyota manufacturing would actually have to spend less money on that repair, but hey, what do I know? Here's another guy, Fred Quinn, in the same thread. He said he's had two blown engines, 28,000 miles. He had a new short block, and then 1,000 miles later, actually the dealer, when they were rebuilding his short block, this is another disadvantage of not getting a crate engine. The dealer screwed up and didn't key the oil pump correctly on the new block, so it ended up toasting his second engine. So I'm guessing he's on his third. Oh, that's rough. And this failure is a little bit different. It's a 2023. So he says, here's a post I never thought I'd have to make, a 2023 TRD Pro, 44,000 miles, no engine mods. The short version, his engine failed, metal chucks in the oil, but it is slightly different. Check this out. He said last week the truck would not build any boost and the hybrid system was not engaging, no check engine light. Truck had difficult time accelerating, wouldn't go over 60 miles an hour. He let the truck sit overnight and decided to work normally the next day. He thought it was weird, decided to have the truck checked out by Toyota and get an oil change. Previous oil change was at 39,000 miles. The oil change he had done after the incident was at 44,210 miles. He had Toyota scan the ECU, and there was a stored code for a cylinder 4 misfire. Oil had chunks of metal in it, and it was very glittery. The general service manager said it was normal and told him to keep driving the truck. Oh, man. He said that what might have caused his misfire was because he didn't change his spark plugs at the factory recommended 40,000 miles. He was not as informed by service advisors the plugs needed change. That's like a $500 to $600 job too to change the plugs at 40K. Turns out that service advisor was actually on his way out. It was like his last month there. So I think he was just having a bad month or something. And this is crazy. He followed up with this post. He said, on a positive note, they called me this morning and said that the head gasket failed around cylinder 4, which is what caused the misfire and not his spark plugs. They're still digging into the motor, and they said they'll need a few days to figure it out and start ordering parts. Oh man, if you've got glitter and metal in that engine, buddy, I would not want to rebuild on that thing, I'll tell you that. And he's not going to be covered either. He's got the hybrid, so he's going to get a short block rebuild either way. And I never thought I would see the day when People were bragging about their Tundras reaching 100,000 miles. That used to be just broken in, right, for the Toyotas. This guy says, made it to the 100,000 mile club today, SR 8-foot bed. And then he says, other than some random transmission noises and slipping here and there, lately it's been a good workhorse. Like, so he's got a slipping transmission at 100,000 miles, and he's just happy that he made it there. How sad. And the comments crack me up. Jose says, that's going to be a new flex. How many miles can you get on the original motor? Then one guy, transmission slipping at 100,000 miles? Yeah. Now for me, I was actually thinking maybe I should go pick up the highest mileage 3rd gen Tundra I can find, just because it would be great content. If it failed, I'd have more videos, but I'm not sure I really want that hassle, because then I'll end up like Mandy here. She said, has anyone had a Tundra break down in another state and have luck getting it shipped closer to home? Their 2023 broke down in Kentucky, but they live in Florida. She actually called Brand Engagement. She said, unfortunately, the Brand Engagement is who they were talking to, and they won't help. Their insurance, USAA, will only tow collisions, not breakdowns. So you could be stuck in these situations. I know everybody thinks, oh, you're going to get a new engine and Toyota will take care of you. I think Toyota will take care of you as probably as long as you're close to home and as long as you're under warranty or you're under the recall. If you're outside of those things, Toyota's not going to give you a new engine. I don't know why people think that they're, if you've got a Toyota at 100,000 miles and you're not part of the recall, I don't see Toyota replacing that engine for you. So you're probably going to be stuck with the bill. And it's a little bummer for us looking for 2nd gen Tundras. I was actually kind of poking around looking for one recently, and man, they get snagged up so fast. And the ones that aren't snagged up are like this, $28,000, the 140,000 miles on a 2018, or $40,000 for a 35,000 mile 2018. I mean, that's almost as much as the 2023s. So yeah, it's just tough. I mean, they're sprinkled in here. You've got, look at that 2022 is less. It's got 60,000 miles, but it's less than the 2020. I mean, around me, this is what I see. I see these 2nd gens going for as much or more than some of these 3rd gens, which is crazy. They're like 4, 5, 6 years older. So gosh, what a bummer. And this to me is just bad advice from Paul Freeman. I know Paul kind of runs these boards, I think. But this guy says, been browsing lately, maybe pull the trigger on a 2024 Tundra by summer. But after seeing the issues, I'm not sure if the 24 is any better. Yeah, they're definitely not necessarily better than the 22s or 23s. I mean, maybe a little bit, but it's not enough mileage to tell. He said he may find a 2021 or older. However, he really likes the looks of the newer one, but knows the older ones will be bulletproof from what he has seen. Paul says no way he would go back to that underpowered tech dinosaur. He's talking about the 2nd gen Tundra. Well, Paul, I got news for you, but there is a reason why these 2nd gen Tundras have actually gone up in value recently, and it is because of reliability. Another guy, the 2nd gen Tundras are so dated now. Drive a 21 versus a 22, and the interior and amenities are world-class difference. Well, that's subjective too, because I hear a lot of people talking about the newer ones rattling and creaking and the wind noise and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, who knows? I think it's a hit or miss. Look, if you go with the 2022, 23, 24, 25, just get an extended warranty. You do not want to be thinking about whether or not you're going to have a $20,000 bill for the new engine out of warranty. And a lot of these are going to start creeping up to that 60,000 miles and past 60,000 miles. Most of these extended warranties for these guys are maybe 100,000, 125,000. So it's going to get sketchy here pretty soon. And yes, there are still plenty of people that love these trucks. They love the way they ride. They like the way they look. They are more powerful than the old generation. Absolutely more tech. Super nice when they're running, I'm sure. There are groups out there like this. So if you're looking to kind of get out of these groups where everybody talks about the problems, here's one group, 2022 Tundras, people who actually like them. And here's another one, 2022 plus 3rd gen Tundra owners, not haters. So there's kind of a growing resentment on Facebook. I don't know if it's because of the videos online or what, but there's a lot of people that complain about things. So I think people are trying to branch out and only have positive things in some groups. So there's a couple groups for you Tundra owners if you're just looking for positivity. So let me know what you guys think. Should I pick up a 3rd gen Tundra, like one with 200,000 miles on it, and just see if I can, get that thing to fail driving it normally? Obviously, I'd need to do oil changes regularly and everything, but yeah, what do you guys think I should pick up? 2nd gen, 3rd gen? Should I go with something else? Everybody says the same thing. They all have problems. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Till next time.